Yeah, like, were you out of service? Did you call the shots?
No, so we don't do that anymore.
None of that was done. That's our side of the story.
And I think part of it too is like it was so smooth.
No. It's our consistency. What?
Yeah, he is. You're like, there's so much to, yeah, but everyone else is so no, so, when they're done with their presentations, they go in. There's no not important number for you, right? They're like, well, these are, no, this is the number that really true. No, these are all of these. What the audience is doing.
Good. How's everything on beach? It's been busy. Yeah, yesterday was definitely steady. He said, just outside of Monterey, lots of traffic. It'll be a lot of
Oh yeah, we have a minute. Oh, plenty of time.
good. He has puppies 2 weeks ago. She got puppies. I've never seen puppies. No, we were talking. A little bit more time, she's already said, I want to keep this. She wants to keep one the last time, but just do puppy racing for 2 months, and then it goes on. Sure. We keep them for 2 months. And then you go. This is the first one kind of choose from so she looks just like a mom. Her mom. She just loves it because they're blind and deaf for 2 months. And now they're just out there and she's so happy. She's very happy. This time of year, you're just like, yeah, that sucks. Got their coats on. They're fine. She wrote the other day. Just we trail ride from spring through fall. We try to get out every 2 weeks. She's on a horse almost every day. She wants me to go out to her. We're going to do a 12-mile ride. We have the Jackson Flails. We have 2 trucks and trailers. Parked here. It's like a 6-hour ride. It's kind of like our goal for this year. So it's fun.
You went out and did something.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm going to call to order this meeting of the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District. Welcome one and all. Will everyone please stand and join Director Sailors, who's leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We'll move to our Metro Cable announcement. Open session meeting is videotaped for Cablecast on Metro Cable 14. Replay on Sunday, February 17th at 9 a.m. and on Monday, February 18th at 6 p.m., all on Channel 14. Webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. The open session meetings are also available for viewing on the district website at www.metrofire.ca.gov. We now are at the public opportunity to discuss matters of public interest within district jurisdiction, including items on or not on the agenda. Madam Clerk, do we have some speaker forms?
Yes, we have Miss Lucila Terral and Miss Rosario Ramirez.
All right, thank you very much. Welcome to the podium. We have 3-minute speaker time.
Hi, my name is Lucila Toral, and I am a member of USWW. I am here again to ask you to hire a junior employer. I have a lot of benefits and rights that I want the janitors that clean your building to have as well. Again, please hire a junior employer to clean your buildings. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rosario Ramirez. I work for SEIU USWW, the Janitors Union. We represent around 2,000 members here in Sacramento and 45,000 in the whole state. We have attended your board meetings after board meeting after board meeting since we found out that, one, the cleaning services for the Metro Fire District was out to bid, and two, when we found out that the employers cleaning your buildings are non-union. I am here today to ask you for 3 things. One, to let you know that none of the individuals who we have contacted who are cleaning Metro's buildings have registered with the Labor Commission, which means they are operating in your buildings illegally. 2, we would like to request an update on the bid decision. And 3, we would like to request a response to all the information we have provided you all. We have passed, every time I come, folders to give you information on what's going on in your buildings. And we would like to ask you to provide a response to all the information we have provided to you about what is happening in your buildings every night. I'm going to be here, sitting here. I know it's not part of the agenda, but I'd really like to address this with one of you, so we can have a decision and share that with our union members, but also with the janitors that are cleaning your buildings, who are, again, operating here in your building illegally. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your comments. Next on the agenda are the consent items, and Chair will entertain a motion for approval.
Motion.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Director Sailors. Sheets.
Aye.
Kelly.
Aye.
Wood.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Barnes.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. We have our presentation item next on the agenda, Community Risk Reduction Division update. Krishana Fields, welcome to the podium, ma'am, and tell us all about our Community Risk Reduction update.
Good evening, Board President Jones, directors, Acting Chief Shannon, and senior staff. Krishana Fields, Supervisor and Inspector of the Community Risk Reduction, to give you an update on our division. Tonight we're going to go over the staffing in our division, the division responsibilities, and the successes within our division. On the screen there you see our current org chart, and we'll go over some of those positions here on the next slide. We have our Fire Marshal, Lisa Barsdale, 3 supervising inspectors, Amy Nygren, that covers our code enforcement, Michael Hambrick, that covers our new construction and plan review, and myself, Krishana Fields, that covers our Inspector 1 training. We currently have 10 fire inspectors in our division with 14 available positions. Out of those 10, 7 are Inspector 2s, which handle our plan review and inspection of new buildings and remodels, as well as our state-mandated inspections. And then 3 of those are Inspector 1s that handle our code enforcement inspections. We are currently in the process of recruitment for the 4 available positions. And we also anticipate the retirement of 2 of our Inspector 2s at the end of 2019, which will leave us with more than half of our inspectors having less than 2 years with Metro Fire. So we'll be a very new division. We are responsible for plan review and construction inspections, fire and life safety inspections of existing buildings, investigation and resolution of complaints, mitigation of exterior hazards, and fireworks inspections and enforcement. In the division, we review new building and tenant improvement or remodel plans for compliance with building and fire codes. We perform inspections during construction to ensure fire and life safety features are properly installed and operational. Year to date, we have reviewed 1,912 plans, and about 48% of those have been outsourced to our third-party plan reviewers. And we have completed 4,244 new construction inspections. On average, the district conducts about 4,000 inspections of existing buildings each year. And that consists of our state-mandated inspections, which are the annual inspections of our schools and our hospitals, high-rise and multifamily dwellings or apartments, and our business inspection program, which consists of the annual inspection of our high-hazard occupancies and our businesses that are over 5,000 square feet, as well as the every other year inspection of our smaller businesses under 5,000 square feet. Year to date, we have completed 1,561 life safety inspections of existing buildings. Due to our scheduled training and scheduled holiday time off, the majority of our inspections are historically greater during the second half of the fiscal year. Our complaints are potential concerns received from members of the public or our operations division. And in fiscal year 17-18, we completed 138 complaint inspections. Year to date, we have already completed 130 complaint inspections. Our exterior hazard mitigation is commonly referred to as our weed abatement program, and it commences at the transition to wildland season. For fiscal year 17-18, we completed 545 inspections. And due to individual abatement and the timing of the transition to wildland season or out of wildland season, no parcels were sent to our contractor for abatement. For the 2019 fire season, we are proactively notifying our identified parcels early, beginning March 1st, to ensure abatement of lots nearer to the onset of fire season. And we are also sending out notification for defensible space to our higher hazard parcels along the bluffs. In fiscal year 17 and 18, we completed inspections of 7 public displays, and these are the fireworks shows you see within the district. And we completed 156 inspections of the firework booths, and those are where they sell the Safe and Sane fireworks. In 2019, we're continuing to work with law enforcement and our other fire agencies on fireworks enforcement. So in fiscal year 17-18 by division, we completed 3,255 plan reviews, with 38% of those outsourced to our third-party plan reviewers. and we completed 5,787 new construction inspections. We also completed 3,056 life safety inspections of existing buildings, of which 530 of those were completed by our operations branch or our engine company inspections. By inspector, on average, each inspector completed about 650 construction or field inspections, and the national average is 450 inspections per inspector, so we exceed that mark. Each inspector also completed 155 new construction or tenant improvement plan reviews. Our goals are to provide efficient fire and life safety programs to reduce risk to human life, property, and economic loss from fire, as well as intra-district coordination to deliver the best possible service. And we achieve that through identifying and correcting potential fire and life safety hazards, by keeping businesses in business, by assisting and educating the community in proper fire prevention practices so they understand the why of what they're being asked to do. And we achieve that through coordination with our operations division with identification and timely notification of target hazards. Although the ability to measure success in the fire prevention efforts are limited, through follow-up after fire incidents, we are able to determine the effectiveness of passive fire protection features, such as fire-rated construction, or automatic fire protection features, such as fire suppression systems. An example of that would be a kitchen fire we had at the Denny's in South Sacramento. The range caught on fire, the kitchen hood suppression system activated, suppressed the fire, and we worked with the business owners to reopen. This year, we also collaborated with city and county building departments, as well as the Cosumnes Fire Department, to simplify and adopt the local amendments to the 2016 California Fire Code. That adoption was completed at the end of 2018, and we are currently beginning the collaboration for the adoption of the 2019 California Fire Code. We are also excited about the implementation of the electronic plan review, beginning March the 1st. Digital plan review will expedite plan review turnaround and improve communication between our plan reviewers and contractors. We are also branching statewide and nationally with our recent fire marshal attendance to High Rise Retrofit Conference in Philadelphia, my attendance to the UL Conference in New York, reviewing battery storage systems and exterior wall coverings, as well as our Inspector Diana Schmidt's attendance to the NOx Advisory Council in Phoenix. And upcoming this year, we will be attending the Northern California and Southern California Fire Prevention Officials Conference and the Community Risk Reduction Conference in Reno, as well as the NFPA Conference in San Antonio. I'm open to answer any questions if you have any.
Are there any questions and comments from the board? All right. Well, Inspector Fields, thank you so much for that presentation. I would like to add a couple add-a-girls, if I may. The continued work on the fireworks enforcement, it's critical. It began probably over 20 years ago, and I'm so glad that Metro Fire is participating in that. That's a very, very important safety item for our entire region, really. Terrific getting ahead on the weed abatement. Many years ago, we did have an issue with a fire on the bluffs, but because our Community Risk Reduction Division had worked with those homeowners, the land had been cleared, and that saved those homes. So that is another very real example. It's hard to capture examples after the fact, but that's a very real one. And getting started sooner rather than later on the weed abatements, that's in the cards now from now on. So thank you, Inspector Fields.
Thank you very much.
All right. We have next an action item. It's a formal bid award, Fire and Life Safety Building Plan Review Services. Fire Marshal Barsdale, would you please give us the presentation and staff recommendation?
Yeah. Good evening, President Jones, Board of Directors, and staff. Lisa Barsdale, Fire Marshal and Community Risk Reduction Division. I'm here tonight to discuss the award contract for plan review services CRRD has been augmenting plan review services with an outside contractor since 2003. With receiving approximately 3,200 commercial and residential plans annually, the district goal is to provide a turnaround within 10 business days for these plan reviews. So taking into account the sheer workload, current staffing levels, and district expectations, we're unable to meet the 10-day turnaround time in an expeditious manner. So for that reason, we're seeking outside services. The RFQ was posted on November 8th, 2018. We received 5 proposals from qualified bidders. The RFQs were evaluated on January 7th, 2019. And then based off of the evaluator's final ranking, it's the intent to have the district award a 1-year non-exclusive contract with the option for 2 12-month extensions on this contract. Approximately 38% of our plans will be outsourced annually at a cost of approximately $175,000. These costs for plan review services are offset by our cost recovery schedule. With that being said, staff recommends that the Sac Metro Fire District Board award the plan review services contract to Interwest Consulting Group. Do you have any questions?
Any questions or comments from the board members? All right, if not, the chair will entertain a motion for staff's recommendation.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right, we got the first and second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Director Sailors,
Aye.
Sheets,
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Wood,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Barnes,
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to move on to our reports. And first off, it's the President's report, and I do have a couple items to share. Just for Board of Directors information, we, via the our board clerk, has passed on information to me about an opening for the SDRMA Board of Directors. I believe that's Special District Risk Management Association. Is it close enough?
Authority, yeah.
Authority. Oh, it gets even better. It's an authority. And there are openings on that board of directors. So if any member is interested, please contact the clerk of the board for details about time commitments, workloads, etc. And if anyone is interested, we will get a nomination process on the go for any director who wishes to participate in that nomination process. All right. And then the second item I have is concerns the janitorial RFP, and I'd like to thank Chief Shannon for his reports that he's been given to me and to the board for the different timelines. Just to recap, the RFP was originally posted on 11/27/2018. There was a mandatory job walk on December 6th of 18. And then on 12/14, the bid was extended to January 7th, 2019, to provide adequate time for all the companies who responded for additional work on their particular bid. The proposals were due January 7th, 2019, and 7 of the 10 eligible companies submitted responses, 2 of which are union shops. As of the latest that I got, the bids are still being evaluated, and no company has received the award as of yet.
Correct.
Is that correct? All
Yes.
right, good. So our RFP process has been in place and working appropriately for years and years and years. So if there are any concerns, I would appreciate, it would be very important for everyone to realize that there is a process, there are timelines, and everyone is welcome to participate in the future for any RFPs that will come along in 2019 and future years. That being said, we'll move on to the Fire Chief's report. Chief Shannon?
Thank you, President Jones. We'll start out with meetings, as we do every day and every week. We continue to meet with our command staff, day staff, union reps with, that's like I said, every day, probably at least weekly. On the 30th of January, we had our labor management collaboration meeting at 522's office. On the 4th of February, we had a budget, all budget officers mid-year review. Went well. 2006, February 6th, we had the inaugural Chief Officer Summit. That was kind of a vision from Chief Harms a little ways back to have the ability to get the regional chief officers in the same room. We had about 80-ish attendees, all the way from CAL FIRE to some of the smaller agencies in Placer County to our big agencies here in Sac County to meet. And really the discussion and the topics were basically operational and organizational issues that affect all departments, whether a size or small or large. So we met all day, had a very dynamic speaker in the morning. I believe it went real well. I think the goal pushing forward is to push us up to biannual. That's at least Chief Harms' vision. So it overall went real well, and we're looking forward to the next one. We'll be coming to you with that. Last weekend, we had Fill the Boot for the Burn Institute, like everybody does. We do every year. A big shout out and thank you to Firefighter Scraft from Metro Fire and Firefighter Gardner from Sac City. They are the two souls that sit up there in the basket and live in the weather, which we would say was not the best weather this last weekend. And they do a fantastic job. They've been out there year in, year out, and they're young enough. They should be out there for a long time. So with that being said, I think that over $165,000 was collected in the 4 days. As you guys know, we've been here, Chief Harms has been here before with the Chief's Challenge. I am proud to say, with some help from the command staff and exec staff, we were out there on shaking our boot for cheating for charity, as we called it. And Sac Metro was again the winner of the Chief's Challenge. There was over 14,000, maybe closer to 15,000 gathered just in the Chief Challenge. And that was basically an hour. So we were out there inundating the streets. I'm not sure if Citrus Heights Police, they probably had a little bit to say about it, but we were very safe and no injuries, no runs, no fouls. So another good event. Congratulations. We had a supervising inspector exam and the eligibility list came out. Diana Schmidt and Christian Gainey, I believe I'm saying that right, were successful on that list, so they will be looking for promotions. We have a reassignment on February 9th of Brendan Hogan. Firefighter Brendan Hogan was selected to fill the EMS 24 on the C shift. We had a new hire on January 22nd, Office Tech Amanda Berkey in the Logistics Division. And we have some recruitments coming up. Firefighter Paramedic is internal only for the 19-2 Firefighter Academy coming up. Filing date will be March 25th. And as Supervising Inspector Krishana Fields alluded to in her presentation, we have a Fire Inspector 1, internal and external exam coming up. Filing date will be March 1st for that. And we have a lateral Fire Inspector 1 and 2 with the same date for the filing as March 1st on that. And just a reminder that our offices will be closed on Monday the 18th in observance of Washington's birthday. So if you guys don't have any questions, that's the end of the report.
Are there any questions for Chief Shannon? All right, moving on to the operations report. I'd like to welcome Chief Wagaman to the podium, please.
Thank you, President Jones, and good evening, Directors and Chief Shannon. Tyler Wagaman, Assistant Chief Operations. I'm covering for Deputy Chief Bridge this evening with your operations report. Since we last met on January 24th, the district has run 5,443 calls. That is a lot of calls. Our folks have been extremely busy. Of those, 4,146 were EMS calls with a transport rate of 71%. We had a total of 16 building fires. Again, extremely busy throughout the district. We had a lull for a little while. We beyond caught up at this point, so extremely busy. If our folks aren't out on the fire line, given the service that they have sworn to do, they're training. We're doing a lot of training. Station 52 still up and running each and every day throughout the week. Our battalion chiefs are taking their crews out there. They're going through a PowerPoint presentation, and they're going right out back to our burn facility, and they're doing up to 3 separate live burns. So there's a lot to be learned there, and that's occurring Monday through Friday. This time of the year, we try to do it during the winter months while it's a little bit cooler. It's a little bit easier on our guys, and we know it's extremely important. A lot of slides being built for our members. Also, our professional development training, that's also occurring here in this building at this time of the year. We just finished the last module, which covered tactics and strategies. We talked a lot about Metro Fire's command philosophy, risk assessment process, how do we make good decisions, as well as ensuring incident alignment. So we try to bring all our members through here to go through that process as well. And if they're not participating in those 2 events, we also have EMS next door. It's 8 hours of required mandated training for each one of our members, so we're funneling them through that process as well. So with that, that concludes my operations report, unless you have any questions for me.
Any questions, ladies, gentlemen? All right. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate that. Next up on a report is from Local 522. Mr. Trevor Jameson, welcome to the podium.
Good evening, President Jones, directors, Chief Shannon, staff. It's great to be here like always. And I just wanted to say thank you to Krishana for that great report on CRD. I'm lucky enough to represent. I know a lot of times we focus on suppression, but there are great people in this organization in all divisions. So I'm lucky to get to represent those people, and they're out working very hard for the district as well. And just, I want to say there's 2 things that have happened since the last board meeting that really, I think, showcases Metro Fire, public safety in the Sacramento area. One is the Guns and Hoses game. Director Barnes, who is in charge of that game. What a great event. And having watched it over the years, it's getting even better and bigger. And to watch the coordination between both sides of public safety, police and fire, the goodwill that's formed in the community, Metro Fire out there with the ladder truck with Sac City. I just think it's really, we're on the right path here in this region, and we really are. And I just want to say to Director Barnes, great job. And then finally, the Fill-A-Boot. I mean, what a great event. 165,000. Last year was a record 166. You look with the weather out there. But one of the things that struck me, I was out there for 4 days and different times talking to different people, and the community is so supportive of what we're doing. And they feel it, and the goodwill that's happening here at Metro Fire, it is exuded into the community. And I think what we're doing here, we're on the right path. To see our people out there supporting the fire chief, and I mean, he didn't just win. We were told there was no rules, just an hour. So he had a ton of support from the membership, from his executive staff. Just a great, basically a great commercial for Metro Fire. And I just want to say it was awesome to be part of it. I'm proud of our members. I'm proud of the whole region for what I've seen here in the last few weeks between Guns and Hoses and Fill-A-Boot. It's just really, like I said, Metro Fire, I think, is leading the way, and we're on the right path. And I appreciate the relationship that we all have and the way we can talk and have conversations, and appreciate the work that you do as well. So thank you. Any questions?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jameson. Appreciate it. Now we'll go on to committee and delegate reports. The executive committee has not met, and any next meeting will be announced. Moving on to Communication Center, JPA, Chief Wagaman.
Good evening again, President Jones, directors, Chief Shannon, Tyler Wagaman, Assistant Chief Operations, speaking on behalf of the JPA Dispatch Board. We've actually met twice since we last had a board meeting here. One was on February 4th, and the next was on February 12th. And allow me to set the stage for you. During the last wind event that we had here, there was a significant power outage, and that took down some of the infrastructure at our comm center. That required them to order some parts which were extremely difficult to find. utilizing eBay and other devices to try to find some old parts. And when those arrived, they went and installed those into the hardware that required it, and that caused some additional problems because of how old that hardware is. So we came together as a board and felt it was necessary to have a special board meeting on February 4th to address and adopt an emergency board resolution. And that was to stabilize, maintain, and upgrade the computer-aided dispatch center to address any future issues. So that was a unanimous decision. I can tell you that the folks over at the Comm Center are working very hard right now to put a plan together. Out of a dispatch center that runs over takes over 500,000 calls a year, when we have to move to a manual type of operation, that is extremely concerning to us. And we felt that this was a dire need to take immediate action. So our next board meeting is scheduled for February 26th. And unless you have any questions for me, that concludes my report.
Are there any questions or comments? All right, thank you, Chief Wagaman. Next up, we have California Fire and Rescue Training, JPA. Chief Shannon, over to you.
I know Chief Harms filled you in last board meeting while I was out of town. I gave you the latest updates. We have not met since then, and we will meet next April 18th, 4 o'clock across the hall. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Finance and Audit Committee, Director Kelly.
The Finance and Audit Committee is scheduled to meet on the 28th, and I urge the alternates on that committee to be present because I will not be here.
All right, so noted. Thank you, Director Kelly. We have our Policy Committee chaired by Director Orzali. He's not here, and so on his behalf, I will announce that the next meeting is March 4th.
I thought it was Gould.
Sorry?
I thought it was Gould, he said.
Oh, okay. In any event, all who are interested can attend the next policy meeting scheduled for March 14th at 5:30 in these chambers. All right, thank you very much. We're going to move to board members' questions and comments. And I think I want to hear the update about the football game. So I'm going to start to my far left and ask Director Barnes to tell us all about it.
Right. Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate it. Again, just to echo what Trevor Jameson said, it was a great turnout. I think we were helped with the great weather leading up to the game. We had just shy of 8,000 people at the stadium. We had the kids' safety fair before, and Captain Vestal, thank you for everything you did, getting the ladder truck and everything you did to get the sidewalk CPR and things going. Those were some of the best. We were getting that from the fans and the families. They were excited about that. So we look to build next year. Our goal, we're waiting for all the monies to come in and pay the bills, but it looks like we're hoping to donate close to $70,000 this year to local charities. And a big recipient of that is the Firefighter Burn Institute, the chaplaincies, and the reserve program from Sac City. So it was a great event. Law enforcement did win. I was concerned because of the bet put out by Chief Harms. And the boss of my day job looked at me at the second quarter and said, "I'm not buying dinner for anybody." And I was like, well, we'll see what we can do. But it was a very close game, good game, but a great turnout by Fire. They're excited already next year. They're hitting me up with emails, and I see great things. Our goal is always to take at least year 50. It's the longest running game of its kind in the nation, and we're only 8 years behind the Super Bowl. So when you think about legacy and how long this game has been going, it's important we keep it going. So the support of the command staff here at Metro Fire to get behind that, the support from 522 to get behind that, and the membership has been great. So I thank you from the chair and the president of that organization, but it's great for this community, and to be able to give back a lot of money, that's what makes it worth it. So thank you. As far as the gala next week, I apologize. I will not be able to attend on that. I'll be down at the happiest place on earth celebrating my daughter's birthday, so I apologize for not being there. It seems like it's going to be a great event. And on that, as we know, it's Valentine's Day for all of us being here. Thank you for everybody that showed up, all the membership that's actually out there on the front lines fighting the good fight. These are the type of moments when you want to be with your loved ones and you can't, but it's the type of job that we all have and we've agreed to. So thank you for the service and everybody behind the scenes keeping the operation going. Thank you. So for that, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Barnes. Well said. Director I have Orzali on the brain now. Director Delman Clark.
All right.
Comments, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the Chief on his challenge. I stopped off out there on Saturday, it was a cold day, and by God, these guys were out there hustling. I mean, they were. I was nervous because a lot of times you would see the chief and they'd get out there and the traffic was coming and the lights changing, and it was. I was a little nervous, but there was a great attendance out there. We had firefighters from every darn district, and they did a good job. It's a really good. That Burn Institute is very important to our community, and I congratulate the guys on a job well done. Congratulations on winning the game, and that's another good charity that is good for our community. Also, I would like to thank Ms. Fields for her report. That's an important, as Director Jones mentioned, that is a very important part of our organization of Metro Fire. So thank you and good job. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Director Wood?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Inspector Fields, like has been said already, congratulations. Thank you so much for the details. An excellent report. Ms. Terrell and Ms. Ramirez, we appreciate their coming and their comments. And I would just add, just following up on the Burn Institute, there is a crab feed fundraiser coming up on March 2nd here in Rancho Cordova. Information can be found at the website at ffburn.org. So hopefully we'll see some people there. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Wood. Director Saylors?
I just want to thank the Community Risk Reduction Division for their wonderful presentations. And I was out at the Fill the Boot on Saturday and Sunday, both days, seeing some old friends. And I missed the Chiefs competition because I had some things going on at my house. UPS truck decided to get stuck in my yard, so. But I was out there both days, and as usual, it's a wonderful event for the community, and it was very, very cold. I don't know how those two guys stayed up in that basket the whole weekend. Just want to say that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Saylors. Director Matt Kelly?
Well, everybody said it pretty well. Just thank you for the reports, both of you, and fine job on the pig bowl.
Director Sheets?
Good evening. I wanted to congratulate the fire chief and recognize all the staff that were out there. It was exceedingly cold. You guys did a great job. I look forward to attending the Metro Gala. I also wanted to announce that I will not be seeking a second term for the Fire Districts Association of California as a director at large. So if anybody's interested, the conference is April 3rd through the 5th, and it'll be held in Napa. The term is a 2-year commitment. Most meetings are phone conference. They last anywhere between 2 and 3 hours, and there is one in person, including the annual conference, a year if you're interested. So if you have any questions, I can certainly update Michelle.
All right, call to action, everybody. Everybody step back real quick and whoever's left. Oh. No, now seriously now, thank you very much, Director Sheets, for representing Metro at FDAC. It's a huge, and for those who might not know, she also got involved in the legislative committee, which tripled the hours. So dedication to duty and upholding all the professional standards that we all aspire to. Thank you, Director Sheets. All right. Everything has been said. Begrudging congratulations to law enforcement on their big win at the Pig Bowl. Thanks to everyone who contributed to that charity event. It goes a very, very long way in our community. The community risk reduction, the hiring of additional contracts to help meet that 10-day, that's going to be huge in the building construction industries. That I forgot to note that when I was thanking Inspector Fields. That is a huge issue here, and that's part of the day-to-day challenge that everyone in the region has. And if we can help get ahead of that, that's going to be huge. Congratulations on everybody else, the new testing. If we need some new inspectors, we get them all lined up. That's great. The gala next week, and thank you for the reminder for the crab feed on March 2nd. Appreciate it. With that, we have a few items for closed session. Appreciate the audience participating in the open meeting session. Please go home. We'll adjourn to closed session. Thank you.
Did you leave these? Oh, thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. I know. Well,
Alrighty, we'll call back to order the open session for the meeting. Council, would you report out, please?
yes, Director Jones. The board met in closed session on item number 1, conference with legal counsel to consider the Government Code Section 910 claim presented by Bert Andrew Olson III. The board decided to reject and deny that claim and refer it to its insurance carrier for further handling. The board also met in closed session for its conference with labor negotiator under Government Code Section 54957.6, Jack Hughes, involving the employee organizations identified in the closed session agenda. No action was taken.
Hearing and seeing no other action items or business on the agenda, we are hereby adjourned until the next meeting, February 28th. Thank you.